Hello, friends. It's me, Rob. Here to just chat, touch base. It's been a little while, so I'm overdue. Instead of coffee, we just have a Coke Zero, so that'll do. Okay, let's chat. Haven't been making videos as much lately. On kind of a break. I was putting out a lot of the RPG a day videos, and the really poignant ones I linked to the OmnusI account. So if you have been following on OmnusI on Facebook, there's been big gaps where I haven't been posting much of anything. Likewise, I'm overdue for a ManyQuest update. I was giving it a little time. We've only got 3 people who've replied to it so far. Those 3 are usual suspects that have posted numerous times before, and you have my gratitude. Those comments are really what keep me wanting to keep doing this. So to the Escapist Club, to Neil Kammer, and to Matt Royal, thank you. I do appreciate your comments. I hope I didn't come on too strongly and canvas for them, and that you really do want to post them. So I was really kind of expecting to just crank out a lot of RPG a day questions, but I've kind of chilled on that because a couple of them started getting a little too autobiographical, and they drifted into areas where I was, starting to get into my relationship with other people, real and in the present and past. And it's probably for the best that it doesn't go out. I will be making a video that will make up for the ones that I didn't post, which was 11 and 12 and I believe 13. But hopefully we'll be getting some more in. I'm about to set off on vacation, which I'm excited about. The capstone of the vacation is I'm taking my mother to the Renaissance Festival in Bristol, Wisconsin. It's very close to the Illinois border south of us. It's a bit of a trip, but we have a minivan for a comfortable ride. And I love the Renaissance Fair. If I could, I would live at the Renaissance Fair. It's expensive to do that, but it's a once-a-year thing, and we haven't gone in a few. So it's exciting. And my mother's never been to one, and I kind of thought she'd be the type who'd at some point in her life have tried to do it. But really, these things aren't thick on the ground. The fact that we have one within driving range is frankly incredible. And I know that's not the biggest one, anywhere, but it's a nice festival. It's big enough that you can spend the entire day doing one big loop around and see all the sights and watch a joust and eat a turkey leg, and the mushrooms are to die for. I have dreams sometimes where I'm eating the Renaissance Festival mushrooms. They make them in these huge kettles, and they're just so buttery and garlicky and good. And then washing that down, they have sarsaparilla, which is basically root beer with a little bit of anise, the ingredient in black licorice. Oh, it's so refreshing. It's so good with the garlic mushrooms. So you can tell I didn't get into this shape by complete accident. So many good foods that I love, and so many things that I could walk through a Renaissance festival all day and just love being in another time period and being surrounded by people who are acting in character. Many of them trying to sell their things, which is cool. The costumery and everything, and watching the bemused locals and the visitors who come in, and it's two worlds. But I do love the Renaissance Fair, so I'll tell you guys how that goes. Show off any new swag that I end up walking out with. Because I usually try every time we go to come back with something. And then don't just spend all the money on food. These trips have gotten more expensive, though, since my son came along. Because he could eat a couple turkey legs himself. But it should be a lot of fun. I hope to build some memories with this. So in lieu of some really expensive vacation somewhere else, we do little things like that. So that's as autobiographical as I want to get. But it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I am not dressing in character. My son does not wish to be embarrassed. Come to think of it, my mother probably doesn't either. Not that I have bad costumes. I have some nice costumes. But no. I will wear a white puffy shirt. I will wear my black dress slacks. I will probably wear my boots. That's as much of a nod to it as I think I can get away with. I will also take some cash, and this is what I always do when I go to Renaissance Fair. I take cash to the bank, and I get a roll of the Sacagawea dollar coins. So they're dollar, they're gold. It looks a little bit... It fulfills my geeky fantasies, what can I say? It's a lot different from when my college buddies and I would go to the Renaissance Fair. That was a lot of fun. But unfortunately, we've all moved our own directions, and it's impossible to get two families together at the same time to do something like that. So we'll settle. Maybe after the kids are all moved out, maybe we can get together and do something like that. Or, you know, maybe if I become the next great author. We'll see. But, so, a couple of things, though, that I do want to bring up. I'm going to unveil my next project here and now. I've already talked to some people in real life about this, but basically what I want to do is I want to start an academy online. I want to put my know-how, my game analysis skills, game design skills, and genuinely put out something that people who are interested in the hobby and interested in looking at different perspectives and to try to improve themselves in the hobby can go and find the academy I'm setting up. Probably for a very minimum fee. Obviously, I'm not going to be accredited. I don't know anybody who will accredit you for learning a class on Spellcasting 101. On the other hand, I can have a school that has Spellcasting 101 that isn't Hogwarts, so I'm thinking I'm okay with that. But I think, and from talking to people and having some great experiences playing with younger people, I think there's a genuine use for something like that. I mean, if you're interested in cross-country running, and you love cross-country running, and you're good at it, if you really wanted to get to the next level, you could train and train and train and train and train. But until you find a trainer who can give you tips and a program and a routine on how to maximize your skills and abilities, it's hard to get to that next level. Sometimes you might be able to go online to get those kind of tips and tricks. And I see so many online universities, academies, and colleges that many of them don't offer accreditation. You get a certificate, you wave in front of a prospective employer. Whether or not that's worth anything, who knows? They don't care, they just want your money. I don't even want the money as much as just to maintain my the website, because I'm going to have a host, so it's going to cost me something, but I have a friend who's helping me with that, and it's going to be very reasonable. But I think I have something of value, and I'm going to start recording these videos detailing what is role-playing, how do people role-play, what are things to look for, what are things to avoid. And then the first game that I'm going to cover, and only makes sense, 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. There are so many videos out there, but if you look at them, almost every single one of them has a spin to it. The person who makes it has some personal biases that get spun into their system. And even though you can find any number of tips and tricks and things like that, again, a lot of them do not give comprehensive advice and suggestions, or the kind of things that really help a person get off on the ground floor running. They just give them things to look for and try to exploit, or, you know, the basic how-tos. I want to give something that's comprehensive and valuable to people who are interested in it. And then eventually expand it out into a whole host of other games too. Obviously with Dungeons & Dragons, that's the one everybody's playing, but I really do want to get into the other game systems, not just the ones that I have, but I want to be useful to a wide cross-platform of different games, as well as talking about game theory, running games. There are skills that interplay between all different sorts of games, and you know, knowing how to do that can really maximize your skills and abilities. And these are going to be some of my most staged videos. I'm going on location to shoot them in a place that's quiet. I don't have to worry about air conditioning running and traffic going by. It's quiet, just me, the camera, which is you, my microphone, so I can get better audio. I think it's going to be really good. I hope it's going to be really good. I have every intention of making it really good, and I'm very, very serious about this. If you were wondering why I haven't been making a lot of videos, a lot of it is because I've been thinking up and planning for this. Still haven't decided what I'm going to call it. I'm half of a mind to call it the OmnusI Institute for the Advancement of Gaming Studies. But I'm just going to look for something with a cool acronym and tinker around with it. I want to call it OmnusI University, but I don't know if I can get into trouble for calling something that isn't really an accredited university a university. I'm not going to sweat it too much. If they make me change a name, I can change a name. It's not that big of a deal. It's not like I'm paying hundreds of dollars for graphic designers or anything like that. But this is going to be something that I'm very serious about, and something that I'm hoping people have some interest in. If you guys have any thoughts, I'd be willing to hear it. Because you are my audience right now, and I hope to reach out to a wider audience who, because I believe there's a great hunger for people who are interested in this whole D&D thing that really don't know that much about it, that would be interested. And every year there's another generation that comes along. I just had this story time for Rob. I just ran a game at my local hobby shop. It was a great game. It was a fun game. We had a wonderful time with an adventure that I'm building for GameholeCon. It's what I want to run, which is going to be called House of Wonders. It's romp through a magical pawn shop that the players get to run while the owner is gone for a little while. So there's crazy characters, there's acts of happenstance, and different events that are woven through the day that the players can get a jump on and take advantage of. And if they fail, it's mostly going to be because they weren't paying attention or focused on the wrong thing or picked a fight they shouldn't have. But it'll be mostly role-play oriented, which I think is appropriate for younger people who don't want to deal with mechanics very much. My group that I ran this with had 10 people. 10 people, it's a pretty big group. And out of them, I'd say 6 of them had never played the game before. By the time we were done, they were all very excited and wanted to come back for another session, which we're going to have the first Wednesday of the next month at the hobby shop. We're going to do the second day of tending the shop, which should be fun. But I really went all out. I had different hats and costumes. It was just a lot of fun. I did the 3D dungeoning stuff. Yeah, it was a great success. This really makes me feel the need for some of these people, because I made a quick intro to 5th edition D&D. I shot a video. It was a 12-minute long video explaining what role-playing is, and then what I expected for players playing 5th edition D&D for the first time. And it worked okay. But honestly, if you really want to know how to play, if you want to get to your first session and you're on the ground running, you already know what a to-hit roll is, the difference between an ability check, a skill check, a saving throw, an attack roll, how they're different and when you use them. I can do that. And I think that the Academy will be very useful to people who want to get into the game. And then the higher level classes will be for designing and tinkering. If you want to make your own, say, your own path the alternate branch of the different classes. You think there's a hole in something you want to do. I'll show some of mine off and explain how I got to that point. If you want to learn how to game master and what to look out for and how to handle this scenario and this scenario, I can do that too. I can do videos for all of that and have multiple courses where it's a video that explains things and shows lots of examples and tries to teach these things that I know from my years and years and years of experience onto other people. Maybe it's a little ambitious. Maybe I'm, getting too big for my britches with this one, but it's something I want to do. I'm passionate about teaching and passing on my skills and my love of the hobby to other people. You who are watching my Lair of OmnusI, hopefully you will support me on this. I'm really looking for not so much help, but just kind words and support would be enough to keep me by for a while. And while I've gone into things with tinkering and bringing up ideas like my Dungeons and Darkness, mashing together Massive Darkness and D&D, these are things I'm still passionate about, things I will ultimately want to do, but right now I really want to make this happen. And it's mostly going to be me just making these classes out for people who want to do this kind of thing. There's software out there that I'll be using to set up the whole array, but I think it could be really good. I hope so. But I will use my stagecraft. I will use the neutral set that I've picked out. I think it'll work, and hopefully it'll be some of my finest stuff and things that this is what I would want to be remembered for. Don't get me wrong, I love all the stuff that I've done prior. I love all the exploration that I've done into these different paths, and I'm not done with those. I'll still keep doing them. As a matter of fact, I'm desperately late on doing another class warfare. I want to do, rogues and wizards and warriors and all the other classes. But this is something that I really feel strongly about wanting to get a base for and start making content for, so that ultimately when I go back to hang my hat on something, I can say, you know what, I made this and it's going to hopefully help hundreds of people and thousands of people maybe someday. That would be really, really cool. I would love also to have more people in it, but unfortunately my shooting schedule and everything makes that a little difficult. Plus, getting people excited about it is a lot harder when you are not surrounded by people who are all in on these kind of ideas. So we'll do as much as I can and see where it goes, and I think it'll be pretty good. I certainly hope that you guys are rooting for me on this one, because I can use the emotional support if nothing else. But I am behind on my video making for the ones I have to make. I've got some State of the Dungeon addresses that I have to make. I have the many quest selection, which I have to total up the number of rolls for the 3 people who have put out their content. So I will be doing that, and hopefully that will be up tomorrow night. And then I start my vacation, and I hope to get as many of these lessons started and worked on so that we can move forward and generally have a good time with this. So this is going to be work. This is going to be something I'm really going to be focusing on. Not as much humor and silliness. This is something I want to make something to help people. So it might be a bit of a slog too, but I'm hoping that I can do minimal takes, need minimal editing, because I have a very laser sharp focus on, and a ton of material that I've been writing for this. So wish me luck. So, but yes, I am looking forward to making videos to entertain you. Of course, I am still your game master online. If again you still want to see me do something, I haven't heard from anybody, but if there's interest in any of the things that I've done, you want me to keep going with that, I certainly will. If you want me to comment on something, or make a new video on something, or you have an idea, or you want to participate in something, yeah, let me know. I'd be glad to hear from you. Because like I said, I do all of this for you guys. And now I'm going to do something for the wider gaming world. So, I'm not positioning myself as an authority, but I do like to think that my many, many years of in the gaming hobby gives me a certain amount of perspective that I think can help people. So, cross my fingers, helping people in a non-judgmental way, so that I don't try to quash anybody else's styles or anything. There's a value for everything. So, just going to give fair, unbiased advice and see how it goes. So that's my big surprise. That's my big reveal. We'll keep doing ManyQuest. ManyQuest is going to wrap up pretty soon, though. It never got as big as I wanted it to, and quite honestly, this mustache is really annoying me. This look it's Dirk, but I'm tired of it. Although playing with the mustache is kind of fun, but no, I'm tired of waking up and choking on my own mustache. So I gotta shave it clear so I can start growing my winter scruff, and then eventually hopefully have a nice beard for November and December. So we'll see. But thank you very much. Appreciate all of you, and hopefully you're all doing well. And I'll talk to you the next time I decide to crawl in front of the internet. Cheers.